My name is Faith Walke, and I am representing the beautiful Twin Island state of Trinidad and Tobago. Single-parent households can have a contributory effect on the social issue of at-risk youth. However, spices can help. No, not the spices that we use to cook with. When I speak of spices, I'm speaking of spiritual, physical, intellectual, community service, emotional, and social development. Akin to herbal spices, developmental spices seek to enrich the lives of those it is added to. When this is achieved, the societal phenomenon of at-risk youth can be reduced. Today, I intend to outline 3 things. Firstly, a definition of at-risk youth. Who are they and what activities they engage themselves in? Secondly, how single-parent families qualify as potential catalysts in creating at-risk youth. Finally, I would provide an idea as to the effectiveness of holistic development, SPICES, as a solution for at-risk youth, inclusive of an intervention strategy model. Who are at-risk youth? According to the International Child and Youth Care Network, they are youth who are being failed by one or more adults or adult-driven institution or system. They are characterized by immoral and illegal behaviors inclusive of teenage pregnancy, drug abuse, crime, delinquency, and dropping out of school, just to name a few. In Trinidad and Tobago, it was tallied by Crime Stoppers in the year 2009 that over 700 youth were held in connection with serious crimes, including kidnapping, housebreaking, larceny, possession of arms and ammunition. Quite frankly, these are too many. We must first agree that single-parent households are not the traditional family arrangement. Trinidad accounts for having over 36% of single-parent households, according to a study done by Dr. Daphne Phillips in 2008. The family system's theoretical perspective asserts that the traditional family is an interrelated unit which has indelible effects on each of its members. The absence of any one of its members leads to an evident change with possible ripple effects in its overall dynamics. Picture this. You have a round, juicy orange. Then you cut off a peg. You have subtracted from its overall value. Now, left exposed, isn't this fruit going to become rotten very fast? So too, the family as a unit is not meant to be dismembered, as it would be more susceptible to have severe destructive effects on its youth. At this point, it is imperative to discuss a viable solution for this critical issue: holistic development, enabling SPICES enhancement. Such development aids in restoring at-risk youth. How so? Spiritual development refines a pure element of focus to identity, a pure focus rather, to identify one's defined purpose. Ben Hayden stated, "If you have spent no more than an hour a day on the spiritual development of your children, in 18 years, your total investment of time would have been over 7,000 hours. Can a Christian parent afford less?" My question to you, can we afford to give any less time to this integral aspect of development? Physical development influences participation in positive activities rather than choosing to be involved in at-risk behaviors, including physical educational courses in schools can help to maximize healthy lifestyles, habits that would prove to be beneficial for at-risk youth. Intellectual development cultivates cognitive skills such as critical thinking and reasoning to make wise decisions. Community service reinforces much needed qualities of humility and sacrifice, as selfless service fosters character building. Mahatma Gandhi rightly said, "You must be the change you wish to see in the world." Simple acts of service can go a long way. Emotional development would help at-risk youth to create a positive self-identity so that they can successfully answer the question, who am I and where do I belong in this world? Finally, social development attempts to master the art of healthy interaction with peers and adults. Studies confirm that systematic development of all 6 aspects is critical in the transition process from youth to adulthood. Revisiting that metaphor from earlier, the orange now lacks a peg. Because of the exposure, there is damage already done. However, by placing it into the refrigerator, some longevity can still be provided. As the refrigerator is to an opened orange, so too is S.P.I.C.E.S development to at-risk youth. S.P.I.C.E.S can provide restoration, meaning, and hope for at-risk youth from single-parent homes. The screen should exhibit a pictorial representation of the suggested method that should be applied to achieve satisfactory results in dealing with at-risk youth. The first aspect, the evaluative method, identifies factors which would distinguish the characteristics of at-risk youth. If youth are not identified as at risk, there should be a subsequent evaluation to ensure that no at-risk signs have surfaced. If no signs are apparent, they are classified as having positive youth outcome. Those who are identified as at risk, whether in the first or the second evaluation, are then assessed for program placement. At this point, they are either placed into curative method approach or preventative method approach programs. Curative method programs seek to rehabilitate youth who are already deemed at risk, while preventative method programs approach to target youth who are potentially at risk. At this time, family members, teachers, and community support are needed to concretize and enhance the positive progress. Periodical evaluation should be conducted to ensure that positive development is constantly achieved and address the need for possible modifications to the program to facilitate ultimate success. Positive youth outcome is expected at the end of this overall process. In conclusion, Luther Burbank quoted, "Adults spend far too much time preparing the path for our youth, and far too little time preparing our youth for the path. Therefore, through the strategic implementation of the S.P.I.C.E.S model, more time would be spent to prepare at-risk youth for the path of success, hope, and a brighter future." Thank you.